Leaving Balmoral was never easy, but then it never has been. I mean, that was just as bad when I was leaving as a child.
Behind the glittering tiaras and grand halls, tensions are rising as Princess Anne just made a bold statement that can't be ignored. Camilla's son, Tom Parker Bowles, was banned from a major royal event. The mood at Windsor Castle grew tense as Anne showed that royal bloodlines still hold weight. No exceptions, but Tom didn't accept the snub quietly. So why did Anne make such a decision? Was it a necessary defense of tradition or an inflexible adherence to protocol? Join us as we uncover Princess Anne's shocking decision. Princess Anne, setting the boundary. Royal events are supposed to be all about glitter, grace, and perfection. Fancy gowns, sparkling crowns, flawless smiles. Everything staged to look picture perfect. But behind the glitter, things aren't always smooth. Sometimes, drama spills out for everyone to see, and it spreads like wildfire. This time, it's Princess Anne who's at the center, shaking things up in a way no one expected. Just when the palace thought they had control, a single whispered decision threatened to stir chaos and leave a mark on royal history. Anne has a reputation for being firm, straightforward, and fiercely loyal to tradition. She doesn't make a scene unless it truly matters. But at a major charity event at Windsor Castle, she made a move that left Queen Camilla and the rest of the family stunned. What happened? Simply put, she made it crystal clear that Camilla's son, Tom Parker Bowles, wasn't welcome, and that didn't sit well with anyone. Tom isn't your typical royal. He's Camilla's eldest from her first marriage, a successful food critic and writer with charm, humor, and little interest in royal formalities. That easygoing style is exactly why Anne drew the line. For her, it wasn't personal, it was about rules. The royal family is built on structure, tradition, and a carefully maintained image. Allowing someone outside the official monarchy to attend a high-profile event? That was, in Anne's eyes, crossing a line. Anne didn't see this as a minor detail. Tom might be fun and charismatic, but he doesn't fit the royal mold she's sworn to protect. To Anne, the monarchy thrives on discipline, duty, and preserving its polished image. Someone like Tom, laid back, media-friendly, and unconcerned with formal traditions, threatened that delicate balance. She believes bending the rules, even slightly, can weaken the institution over time. While some royals embrace change, Anne sees herself as the guardian of tradition. That's why she took a stand, even if it upset Camilla. But this isn't just about protocol. It's about family dynamics. The royal family is more than a political institution. It's a family with history, emotion, and long-standing relationships. Anne and Camilla, despite sharing the same royal circle, often approach life differently. Anne follows the rules to the letter, while Camilla has spent years proving she belongs. Their backgrounds, personalities, and priorities naturally put them at odds. This disagreement highlights that divide. Anne protects structure, Camilla pushes for inclusion, and a modern, blended family approach. Power shifts within the royal family make the tension even sharper. Camilla's rise from outsider to queen has given her influence and allowed her to bring her own family closer to the monarchy. From her grandchildren's presence at coronation events to her increased visibility, some see it as modernization, while others, like Anne, see overreach. By barring Tom from the event, Anne drew a firm boundary. Experts suggest this disagreement is bigger than a single event. It reflects a simmering tension within the royal family. Some members want modernization. Others fear it could undermine everything the monarchy represents. At the heart of it are Anne and Camilla, two women shaped by very different paths. Anne grew up immersed in royal duty, while Camilla had to fight for her place. Their perspectives rarely align, and the friction is becoming more visible as Camilla takes on more responsibility. This isn't just about rules, it's about power, influence, and the monarchy's future. Decisions made now will ripple through generations. Anne, ever the defender of tradition, isn't backing down. The fallout from this event will linger. Royal watchers will speculate, insiders will whisper, and the press will dig deeper. Every shared appearance between Anne and Camilla will be analyzed for tension. The monarchy prides itself on unity, But moments like this remind everyone that, at its core, it's still a family, full of rivalries, disagreements, and conflicts. While the dust may settle on this event, the broader debate over tradition versus modernization is far from over. As the world evolves, will the monarchy adapt, and will Princess Anne be there standing firm to ensure that rules are followed? Let's find out. Anne's unshakable position. Royal events are meant to shimmer with elegance, grandeur, and meticulous perfection, a dazzling parade of glittering tiaras, polished smiles, and flawless public appearances. To the world, they appear seamless, a carefully choreographed display of unity and poise. But behind the polished facades, away from the cameras and flashing lights, life within one of the most famous families on Earth is far from perfect. Tensions simmer quietly in private, and every so often they erupt, spilling into public view and capturing the fascination of the world. This time, all eyes are on Princess Anne, unexpectedly thrust into the heart of a royal drama that has set tongues wagging and imaginations running wild. Known for her practicality, unwavering dedication, and steadfast loyalty to royal duty, Anne has always been the anchor of the family, a figure who faces difficult decisions head-on without flinching. Yet, her latest move, which reportedly left Queen Camilla visibly stunned, has ignited intense speculation about the monarchy's inner workings and what the future might hold. What was meant to be a glittering charity event at Windsor Castle, a showcase of royal unity, purpose, and tradition, became, instead, the stage for a clash no one anticipated. Insiders reveal that Anne took a firm stand, objecting to the attendance of Camilla's eldest son, Tom Parker Bowles. For Anne, a woman who has long prioritized duty and protocol above personal preference, this was not a casual choice. It was deliberate. It was a statement, and it raises an intriguing question. Why would Princess Anne, often the emblem of stability within the royal family, take such a decisive stand against Tom's presence? Tom Parker Bowles is, in many ways, a man who thrives outside conventional royal boundaries. As Queen Camilla's son from her first marriage, he has built a respected career as a food critic and author, recently releasing a new cookbook titled Cooking and the Crown. Yet his proximity to royalty has consistently placed him under intense scrutiny, prompting an unspoken question. Where does he truly belong within this storied institution? It is this very question that seems to underpin Anne's hesitation. Tom's unorthodox role and high-profile presence challenge the traditions she holds sacred. Though Tom's charismatic, outgoing nature brings a lively energy to social gatherings, Anne's eyes see it differently. She has always cultivated a public image steeped in dignity, composure, and decorum, and she understands the subtle power of perception at royal events. Having Tom, whose charm stems from relaxed authenticity rather than rigid formality, at such a visible occasion could risk distraction, or worse, be seen as undermining centuries of tradition. But there's another layer to this story: the delicate tightrope the royal family must walk between personal relationships and institutional duty. Camilla's family, while central to her private life, exists outside the official structure of the monarchy. By opposing Tom's attendance, Anne may have been signaling something more than personal disapproval. She may have been drawing a line, asserting that the monarchy's traditions, responsibilities, and rituals should remain separate from private familial ties. Of course, this stance came at a cost. For Camilla, the decision was more than protocol. It was deeply personal. Sources suggest she felt shocked, even hurt, seeing her son excluded. It was a moment that exposed the tension between her role as queen and her role as a mother. Camilla has spent years navigating public skepticism to earn widespread respect, yet this incident highlighted the ongoing challenges she faces balancing maternal devotion with royal duty. Despite her disappointment, Camilla responded with characteristic pragmatism, choosing to maintain unity over confrontation. But why did Anne bar Tom Parker Bowles? Let's take a closer look. Reason behind Anne's shocking decision. Princess Anne's loyalty goes far beyond simply being a senior royal. It extends to the very institutions she has devoted her life to protecting. To truly understand her choices, we have to look at the forces that shaped her. her upbringing steeped in duty, tradition, and an unwavering commitment to the crown. And how much is about the complex human dynamics within one of the world's most famous families. These quiet, unspoken moments often reveal more than the grand public gestures ever could. The subtle relationships among senior royals like Anne and Camilla remind us that even amid glittering ceremonies and centuries-old traditions, family dynamics remain strikingly familiar. But for them, the stakes are infinitely higher. Every glance, every decision, every interaction is dissected by the world, turning private disagreements into public fascination. In this latest episode, while Camilla may have chosen a pragmatic approach, allowing the matter to pass quietly, the underlying story is impossible to ignore. The unhealed tensions between her and Anne linger just beneath the surface, proving that their relationship is far more complex than appearances suggest. Anne's decision regarding Tom Parker Bowles was likely never just about him. It speaks to the broader, unspoken dynamics between herself and Camilla. Their connection has always been a delicate balancing act, shaped by shared history, intricate family ties, and the enormous weight of their royal duties. Together, they embody the challenge of being a royal in the modern era, presenting a united front for the nation while privately navigating a labyrinth of personal relationships. Behind the carefully polished public facade lies a far richer story, one built on years of unresolved tension. The friction between Anne and Camilla is likely not new. It may trace back to shared experiences, contrasting approaches to duty, and even differing personalities. How did Princess Anne shape Camilla's path to the throne? Let's find out. Royal entanglements. If you've ever followed the twists and turns of royal drama, you already know that Camilla has been at the center of it for decades. Long before she became Queen Camilla, she was a familiar face in London's high society, a debutante in the swinging 60s, attending glamorous polo matches, exclusive soirees, and rubbing shoulders with the royals. But it was in 1970, thanks to Princess Anne, that Camilla met Charles, a meeting that would spark a complicated saga still talked about today. The relationship between Camilla and Anne has always been layered and tense. To understand why, we need to rewind. Meeting a future partner through friends might sound like a fairy tale, but for Camilla, it came with drama. She first met King Charles through Anne, and the introduction came with a twist. At the time, Anne was dating Andrew Parker Bowles, the man who would eventually become Camilla's husband. According to royal expert Penny Jr., this connection led to a brief flirtation between Charles and Camilla, a whirlwind romance that ignited at a polo match in 1970. Camilla, never shy of a cheeky joke, teased Charles. "My great-grandmother was the mistress of your great-great-grandfather. I think we have something in common." The spark was instant, but the royal love story was far from smooth. Meanwhile, Anne's romance with Andrew was complicated. Their love was real, but as a Catholic, Andrew was ineligible to marry her under the Church of England rules. Eventually, Andrew's attention shifted to Camilla, and the web of intertwined relationships grew even messier. By the time Charles returned from his Royal Navy duties, Camilla had moved on, engaged to Andrew, leaving both Charles and Anne in a complicated emotional tangle. Camilla and Andrew married in a lavish 1993 ceremony at the Guards Chapel, followed by a glittering reception at St. James's Palace. The guest list was a royal who's who, including Princess Anne herself. It's hard to imagine Anne's feelings were entirely warm. After all, Andrew had quickly moved from her to Camilla, but she attended, keeping her composure in true royal fashion. Years later, when Camilla's relationship with Charles finally led to marriage in 2005, old tensions resurfaced. Princess Anne reportedly gave Camilla the cold shoulder, and other members of the royal family were far from enthusiastic. Queen Elizabeth herself chose not to attend the wedding. Body language expert Judy James described the post-ceremony photos as frosty, with Anne maintaining her famously no-nonsense demeanor. Yet beneath the cool exterior, Anne's own life choices had subtly paved the way for Camilla's acceptance into the royal fold. Anne's divorce and remarriage had challenged old traditions, setting a precedent that allowed Camilla to follow her heart, even in the wake of scandal. But that didn't erase lingering unease. Camilla often felt intimidated by Anne, aware of the history and the unresolved emotions between them. There's even a surprising twist. Camilla's early involvement with Charles may have begun less as romance and more as a reaction to Andrew's flirtations with Anne. Feeling betrayed, she reportedly engaged with Charles as a form of defiance. Rumors tell of tire slashing and lipstick messages on Andrew's car, acts of heartbreak and rebellion that ultimately reshaped royal history. And through it all, Andrew Parker Bowles remains a persistent thread in this royal tapestry. He is godfather to Anne's daughter, Zara Phillips, while Charles is godfather to Andrew and Camilla's son, Tom. So, what does this mean for Anne and Camilla? With so many tangled loyalties and connections, where does true allegiance really lie? Let's dive deeper. Royal rivalries and quiet alliances. Since stepping back from the day-to-day duties of the royal family, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle have undeniably dominated the media's attention. Their departure, often referred to as Megxit, sparked endless headlines, interviews, and speculation about the future of the monarchy. Yet, while the world watched Harry and Meghan carve out a life away from the palace spotlight, the quieter, more subtle work of reshaping the royal family continued behind the scenes. This quieter revolution has largely been driven by King Charles, who, in the years following his mother Queen Elizabeth's passing, has taken steps to slim down the monarchy and redefine the roles of those who remain in the royal inner circle. Charles' strategy has been deliberate and thoughtful. He has sought to create a monarchy that feels both modern and sustainable, cutting back on the number of working royals while clarifying who is responsible for which duties. The result has been a shift in the family's dynamics, leaving some members navigating an entirely new set of expectations. At the heart of this evolving order is Princess Anne, the Queen's only daughter, who has built a life of service, defined by duty, resilience, and a sometimes uncompromising approach to protocol. Known for her straightforward nature, Anne has not been shy about expressing her thoughts, especially when it comes to the rise of Queen Camilla's influence alongside King Charles. Insiders have long suggested that Anne's view of Camilla has been colored by skepticism. In 2021, one royal insider revealed that Anne has often perceived Camilla as someone who seized opportunities with strategic timing, particularly in her role beside Charles. As Camilla grew into a more prominent public position, tensions reportedly surfaced between the two women. Anne, accustomed to a lifetime of quietly commanding respect within the palace, occasionally found herself feeling overshadowed by Camilla's increasing visibility and influence. It wasn't only public attention that caused friction. Anne reportedly felt a loss in private family time, lamenting how few opportunities she had for personal conversations with her brother without Camilla present. Camilla, on the other hand, is said to have hoped that Anne might set aside old disagreements and allow a fresh chapter to unfold between them. She appeared to extend a hand of reconciliation, demonstrating a desire to coexist with Anne in their shared royal life. Yet Anne, shaped by decades of experience in navigating palace hierarchies, was not entirely ready to forgive or forget. Old grudges, it seems, have a remarkable ability to linger, subtly shaping interactions and adding complexity to the already intricate web of royal relationships. Despite these undercurrents of tension, some observers believe that Anne and Camilla have managed to find a practical way to coexist. Judy James, a body language expert, has pointed out that there are indications of a mutual understanding, at least when it comes to their shared responsibilities within the monarchy. While the history between them may never be fully reconciled, their focus in recent years has been on the present, maintaining stability, projecting unity, and fulfilling the public expectations of the royal family. Their efforts contribute to a sense of continuity, preserving the monarchy's image in the eyes of the world, a task made even more pressing following the death of Prince Philip, when King Charles fully assumed his role as head of the family. Under Charles's leadership, the family has tightened its inner circle, drawing both Camilla and Anne closer into roles that emphasize duty over personal differences. While Anne and Camilla may still experience occasional emotional distance, shared responsibilities appear to have forged a new type of relationship between them. James observed that although the path has not been without difficulty, signs of progress are visible. Anne and Camilla are now part of an unofficial elite squad, alongside other senior royals, including Kate Middleton, Prince William, Prince Edward, and Sophie, Countess of Wessex, whose collective mission is to ensure the monarchy remains relevant and respected in a rapidly changing world. The transformation of these relationships underscores an important reality. It is no longer primarily about personal connections or warm friendships within the palace walls. The monarchy operates on teamwork and shared objectives, with every senior royal understanding that their public and private interactions are often measured by how well they serve the institution. Personal feelings, while never entirely absent, are now channeled into a common purpose: protecting the family's reputation, reinforcing traditions, and presenting a united front to the public. Even so, life at the top of the monarchy isn't all formality and strict duty. Moments of humor and lightheartedness occasionally break through, revealing a human side to even the most reserved royals. A notable example occurred on Christmas Day in 2019, during the royal family's traditional church service at Sandringham. Both Anne and Camilla attended the service, each unknowingly wearing bold purple outfits that almost perfectly matched. As Anne approached the church, she walked alongside Camilla, who quickly noticed the unintended twinning. In a rare moment of playful interaction, Camilla gently nudged Anne with her elbow, silently pointing out the similarity in their attire. The small gesture sparked a laugh from Anne, an unusual public display of warmth from someone typically known for her composed and reserved demeanor. Body language experts noted that this fleeting interaction hinted at a level of comfort and recognition between the two women, a glimpse of the underlying professionalism that now guides their relationship. Yet, while moments like this suggest some easing of tensions, the echoes of historical rivalry and questions of hierarchy remain ever present. The incident involving Tom Parker Bowles, Camilla's son, is illustrative of this enduring complexity. It was not a simple family quarrel. It served as a reminder of how rigidly structured the royal hierarchy can be. Every role is carefully delineated, every position fiercely guarded. For Anne, moments like these are opportunities to assert her place within the institution, a position earned through decades of unwavering service and a deep understanding of royal protocol. Over the years, time has smoothed some of the rough edges between Anne and Camilla, yet certain underlying dynamics remain. Their interactions are layered, shaped by history, personal perspectives, and the practical demands of their roles. So, what do you think about Princess Anne's decision to stop Tom Parker Bowles from the royal event? Let us know your opinion in the comments section. Don't forget to like and subscribe.